Welcome everyone to Karmic Dynasty. Also welcoming today the audiences of Reed's Learning Street, as well as the audiences of his YouTube channel, Abdiel and Levi, revised recent new channel Tribe Up 777999. We are also streaming live today on the Joy Ishram Facebook page, as well as Reed's Learning Street on Facebook and YouTube, along with the Karmic Dynasty channel on YouTube as well. I am here today to speak on, and always for all audiences that are not aware of who I am, again, welcome. I'm glad you all are here. I always share how I came to the topic. Today, when I got up from my sleep, this was on my mind, like the images of the writings on the wall, the histories. I don't recall seeing children on the walls, as if children didn't exist in those times. Now, getting older in life, sometimes I may have what is called like a senior moment. It's coming, I guess. I don't know. So if I'm mistaken and you know of a place on the walls, like all cultures, there's writings on the walls. Somewhere there's a writing in those images. Where are the children? The little kids playing. I don't be seeing them. Along with me today, before we get started, I'm going to introduce the guest on the panel, my brother M-Town Vet. Welcome to Karmic Dynasty. How are you today?
Peace. How you doing? Fam?
We're good. And we're glad you're here. Before we get started, if you would introduce yourself to everyone, and again, welcome.
I'm M-Town Vet, y'all, a warrior and a healer, herbal healer, and I'm glad to be here again on Karmic Dynasty to discuss a few things with y'all as far as the children's realm. Glad you could have me on, fam.
Thank you. Now, M-Town Vet and I, we work together on the crucial, most sensitive children's topics. So this is what we do. I'm glad he's here and we have the time to come to you together. Now, I'm going to speak further on this through imagery, right quick, just from the thumbnail for today's presentation. Let me share this. We're going to look at it closely, if you don't mind. Now, I see at the bottom row, along with these children, images across the world, different cultures, images. I don't see children on this bottom row, along with the children looking. We don't see children in this imagery. Through history, where are the babies at? When are we going to pay attention? And we say the children matter. We speak of their importance. Well, where do they see themselves? How are they supposed to know of their importance? How are they supposed to be convinced they're important? Or are we not in the convincing business? We're not here to convince them. That's okay. Instead, we do things like the top row and take them to Disney World, put them in front of Disney TV, and fill them up with McDonald's and have them stressed out in the school, and do things to play with their minds. Top right corner, we give them colored pencils. We give them school supplies full of creative tips, but then we tell them how to use it. And then we wonder why they turn to things like spray paint cans, and they create their own stories on the wall, which some people would call graffiti. Long story short, what There's a lot of things wrong. We're always talking about community and fixing the children, and the children are we speaking on that today. We're also speaking on, like, technically, we're all a bunch of 7-year-olds running around. Once you hit age 7-ish, just a bunch of 7-year-olds running around. Just our body parts get taller or bigger, and we have more experiences to add to our 7-year-old self. This is the short of it for me. This is my intro. We're going to get into the specifics of today's topic. M-Town Vet, you have anything you want to share with us for the intro?
I mean, it's a good topic, fam. That's why I wanted to come on and you know, kind of shed light on a few things too, because where are the children's? Where are the children's art? Where is their form of expression? And you know, that's another thing is up and coming parents and things like that. Hey, they get mad at the children for writing on the walls, but we have to look, you know, as soon as a lot of children turn the age of 3, 4, they've been sent into places where they're told to be quiet. Shh, be quiet. You know, it's always to the children, be quiet from adults. Be quiet. So a lot of times they not getting a chance to express themselves in the schools. And a lot of parents, they act as if it's the school's fault. I mean, you know, if it's on the school to do certain things, even though they've been to work, yeah, you may be tired or whatever, but children have a lot of things that they want to express at times. And if the parent is tired or whatever, a lot of parents tend to kind of shoo the children away. Oh, go play with the game. Oh, go do this. So we actually never getting a chance to see how these children feel. What are they experiencing in their life? What are they trying to tell us? And so when they get shut down like that, yeah, sometimes they write on the wall. They write on anything. You know, they're being silenced and told to be quiet. So how else can they get it out of them? You know, a lot of, like I said, parents get mad at children for this, but you have to look, in a lot of senses, they being shut down. What's going on with them matters too.
Definitely. I was just sharing some images. Again, we appreciate comments and sharing this video, liking the video, and definitely subscribing to the platforms so you can receive notifications for our presentations. So again, comment section audience, those of you who are able to give feedback. I know some people are at work, some people are at swim meets, some people are in places and times, hospitals, at the dinner table maybe, or homeschooling, listening. But tell me if I'm having like a senior moment. Where are the children in the stories on the walls of history? Is this just a world where the adults are on an ego power trip? Those responsible for the writings on the walls, those responsible for the decision for the walls to be written on and what to write, why worldwide were the children excluded? If there's a culture where the children are on the walls, I need somebody to talk to me. Right now, the only walls I could seriously think of where the children are included, you think, what, Disney? Disney got castles. Those walls are full of children. McDonald's walls
that
full
places,
of children.
Right, but the places that, like you said, that do have symbolism of children on the wall, what kind of places are these? But I feel what you're saying. Where is the acknowledgement of our children? acknowledging the things that they doing, they creations, how they feel about things. And yeah, that we need to bring them more to the forefront, because that matters. You know, that matters a lot, how they feel. And like I said, quite often, a lot of times, they being shut down in the schools. It's always, shh, be quiet, be quiet. And like I said, they have to face it even at home with some of the parents, depending on how the parenting is. So we can't be so upset with the children when they try and express themselves, and they being shut down if they so happen to want to write on the walls to try to get these messages out that, you know, either people don't have the time for, or they not being heard out, or they simply being shut down.
And as you mentioned, the adults, per these writings on the wall, the adults were apparently able to express their feelings and their expressions. So how can the children be anything other than the adults that were before them if they don't have an example, an ongoing developed example of how to do it any different? And then when a child expresses themselves that looks anything like different, we call them special. We call them sometimes rebellious. They were just able to find a window of opportunity to express themselves and share their feelings in a written form, other than what they were told to do. That box that we want to keep them in, stay in the box, stay in a corner. You can stay in the corner of this box, which is a room. And then when you come out that corner, you can stay in that box, which is that room. Don't come out that box, because you'll be back in that corner. And wonder why they have tantrums, so-called tantrums.
Right.
Tantrums are a buildup of lack of self-expression. They have no room for self-expression. Children, they say, have behavioral problems because they don't have the room to express themselves. Give these children a wall and the same utensils and or opportunities and tools to write and create as those before them. What's mad? So some grown people somewhere scared the children gonna show them up and do better than them. M-Town.
And that may be because these children are advanced. If we actually listening, you know, and we actually, hey man, some of these children can guide us if we paying attention. You know, we have to realize that they not as tainted, you know, through having the experience of life. You know, they haven't been through a lot of the indoctrination that we've been through as adults, and that we now having to unlearn to relearn.
Yes.
And so, I mean, with these things, yes.
So then who would the real leaders be?
Right, the children.
The children.
If we allow them to be.
They are the real leaders, because they've not been indoctrinated.
Exactly.
So there's a community of adults somewhere who's mad that the children gonna show them up. It seemed like possibly people have ego. We
have, you know, all these different sayings. You know, as parents, we have all these different sayings, and try to use these sayings against the children when they do things like this. Say things that are of a more intellectual nature than the things we have to say. Stay in a child's place. That's one of the main ones. oh, stay in a child's place. If a child speak out on something, or we may not, but hey, if that child in the knowing and that's what it is, you might not want to hear it from the child. But there you go. Hey, I mean, that's how it is sometimes. Peace, land. And I mean, a lot of the times that's what it is, because these children are very advanced. These children are very advanced. I mean, we can see it. We see it in their actions, some of the things that they doing and that they taking to, this soon as children. They able to pick up on things and learn at a faster rate than a lot of us are as adults. But hey, man, if your child naturally inclined, you can't be upset with them about it, because a lot of us are too comfortable where we are in places. We can't
And
get
then
upset with the children because of that, because they keep excelling in advances.
and
What you
then
was
there's
saying, fam?
I was saying, so phrases like stay in a child's place, in a world where sometimes we want to put up explicit content, parental advisory signs, like I just put up there. You want to guard the children because somebody said a curse word. Stay in a child's place is a line of curse words. You're cursing the child. You're harming them. A child's place in a world where we are all 7-year-olds running around, that's exactly where they're already at. They don't want to,
Exactly.
if they could stay there, that'd be great, but that is not how we're built. So in a world where I hear what I'm saying, stay in a child's place, maybe the adult speaking hopefully, like, oh, if only you could stay in a child's place. Then maybe enough adults would be able to tune in, pay attention, and let you all do it. Be leaders that you are. Because us in these forms, these adult bodies, we ain't all getting it. Some of them is like, dang, I wish I could have stayed in the child's place. People say that all the time. Oh, if I could only go back. Oh, I don't wish I would have. In a hurry to grow up when you were a child, when you were so-called, let's go 18 and under. Quick to grow up. But then soon as some of us grow up, we wish we was a child again.
Exactly. I don't like the
Adults
responsibilities of being an adult.
Because there's some curse words they want to start throwing at the children because they hating on the children because the children are in the child's place where they wish they could have stayed.
Exactly. So it's still like an animosity thing, a secret animosity thing with the child.
And you can hear it
because
all in how they say
the child hasn't yet became an adult and don't have the responsibilities that you have. I mean, there's still not a reason to shut children down and always silencing them, and they should be in a child's place. But most parents they consider a child's place. Look at the things you introduce them to. Like you just had up there, McDonald's. They think all these things are okay. Ronald McDonald and Chuck E. Cheese and all of these type of things, where I don't feel like none of that is right, especially associated with all these foods that's not good for children. They targeting children. They got where they had Ronald McDonald, things like this, Chuck E. Cheese, targeting children to try to promote sales for unhealthy food. But these are the things that parents are willing to introduce their children to. This is a child's place. We're dealing with stuff like this. But I would, and picked up a few things on Ronald McDonald that shocked me. I was like, oh my goodness. And I mean, like, to these companies that's marketing and targeting children, especially for stuff like that. You got the stuff all colorful. I mean, a child don't know. And they include these characters that, you know, you get little games and your little prize with your food and your little stuff like that to try to encourage the kids, you know, to start liking these things when they're young. The most unhealthy stuff on the planet. But we'll take our children around this type of stuff. What is it? The McDonald's playgrounds. You know, we'll do things like
Yes.
that. But because we consider these things at once a child's place.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But look at Ronald McDonald. Who is Ronald McDonald? I didn't know this guy was a child rapist. Ronald McDonald, y'all, a child rapist. He confessed to molesting over 45 children. So, I mean, that just go to show the lack and, you know, checking things out, some of us as parents, because yeah, a lot of us, we allowed our child to participate in these things. Go to the Ronald McDonald Playhouse and, you know, probably engage in dealings where they have the Ronald McDonald guy, you know, out there with the children and things like this. Ronald McDonald, y'all, that man confessed to molesting 45 children. And before he was doing the Ronald,
go ahead. My bad.
Before they was doing that, he was doing Santa Claus. Y'all know the story behind Santa Claus, and you know, the children sitting in his lap, and another molestation type thing. You know, all this was going on, so nobody studied the history of this guy. You know what's really going on with these characters or so-called people that letting children interact with. But come to find out, Ronald McDonald, a whole child molester, molested 45 children before he came out and openly admitted it and wasn't convicted of it. Didn't go to jail for it either. So all this is going on. Meanwhile, this is the type of system and the type of thing that, hey man, people will allow in these systems. And look at these things, they cater to children. That's a killer clown. That's a killer clown. That's what that is. That's a killer clown. With all that unhealthy eating, how many millions of people, how many lives you responsible for? Yeah, look happy and friendly, been smiling. Yeah, they've been serving human meat and all this stuff, then got caught up in, I don't know how many McDonald's. You know, they got caught up in, I know one in Mississippi and several other McDonald's. So, I mean, people think these things are okay. You know, hey, man, dude is a cold guy, man. Was a cold guy, Ronald McDonald, man. And then, hey, man, he's getting your kids is smiling, doing it with a smile, bringing them straight to the slaughterhouse. How many millions you can kill a clown? So, I mean, you know, we just have to start examining things, y'all. Yeah, Ronald Carol McDonald, a whole child rapist.
So
but how long did that go on? What, 20 years?
But I'm sharing, you had mentioned the Ronald McDonald, the playhouses and stuff. Right now, here in Indianapolis, I am aware of the Ronald McDonald House. and that's the hospital program for sick kids. And these houses are across the United States and even in Canada. And when you talking about what he's doing in these places, I'm pretty sure Ronald McDonald shows up at these places from time to time and visits. And I'm pretty sure somebody feels so comfortable enough to leave their children with him in a room by themselves, unsure of what he is doing. Now, of course, they changed the Ronald McDonald character over time. It ain't the same Ronald McDonald being made up, just like with all the Santa Clauses that the children are sitting on the laps, and the Chuck E. Cheeses as well. The point is, people get a little bit too comfortable, and they are in the uncomfortable realm. They get comfortable leaving their children with anybody else, and being with their children sometimes makes them uncomfortable, which puts the children in an uncomfortable place. So I'm gonna need the adults to get over themselves, give the children the freedom of expression. Adults are fighting for freedom, but taking the freedoms from the children. How? You can't get adults what you won't even give it to the children. So how you plan to get some freedom? Give the child some creative supplies and leave them alone.
Yes.
And also, speaking of creative spaces, let's look at some of the creative spaces that's already around. So walls, we're looking at walls. So we are looking at chalkboards. These are the walls that the kids look at. But who's in control of the chalkboard though? The teacher. The child just can't walk up there when they want to. It's like teasing the children. Like, oh, why she get to hold the chalk? He or she, the teacher, get to hold the chalk all day. Why I can't hold the chalk? Why I can't decide what gets erased and when? Why I can't decide what color chalk we using today? Or maybe like, you know what, we gonna switch up the chalk every hour. We gonna use red chalk the first hour, blue chalk the second hour. Why the children don't get to make these decisions? And then are they writing in cursive or they writing in print? Or can they just have their own language and they write all day? No.
Right.
Because
it's the whole experience should be about the child. So like you said, why are there no freedoms for the child if the whole experience should be predicated amongst and around what's going on with the child? The child has no choices, no options, just being silenced and told to be quiet.
Chalkboards, simple as chalkboards. And back in the day, I do recall, watch some Little House on the Prairie. The students had their own little chalkboard, their own piece of chalk, and their own cloth to wipe it away, erase. Remember that?
And they should be more like you were saying, be more free to express themselves too. It's all about their experience. Why the teacher even have a job?
Exactly. I was trying not to laugh out loud when you was talking. Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying though, fam. I mean, people be taking a lot of things out of context, and like you said, limiting these children's freedom of speech and limiting their freedoms and their options. You know, it makes them feel some type of way when they basically being shut down and suppressed. And we know how important that is because we still recovering from keeping things in our heart too long. We still recovering from when our intuition was telling us something wrong with all this indoctrination. We still recovering from these things. So that's why I said, this a good one, sis. This a good one.
But you know,
because we need
recovering. Them therapists, they winning though. Therapists, counselors, they winning while we recovering.
Yes.
So let's look at a future wall.
Yes, they sure do, sis. She said they are demand the children to obey in the schools, and they do. They are just, basically driving them into this slavery mentality where they are being felt like their voice is not important, or the things that they feel on the inside is not important, you know. And that's what they do because they have basically it's like this. Yeah, they're gonna say some things, but just think now. You got the principal at the school, you got police, you got military and all of that. So yeah, they drilling them, like you said, basically drilling stuff into their head, and you gotta obey. We got some on standby for you if you don't. So this is like, it's too militant. The way they have it structured, it's too militant for a child to have to go through this. Police and military in my school. Why? But this is
For
what it
the
has come to. And parents don't question this type of stuff. Everything is just okay. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, it's called the pipe to prison system. That was called.
Right.
Yeah,
And they
training them.
drilling them for it. And
This
that's
the
what's
wall.
happening when
This they freedom of expression wall. Straight lines. Count how many days they been in or how many days they got till they get out. This where stifling their
it's,
creative nature gets some of the children.
it's sad. Yes, they sure do, fam. Sis said, notice the schools look just like the jails. Same
Yeah.
everything. Same bluebird bus. They just painted it yellow. It still got bluebird right on the side of it. If you look at it, guess what? That bus still say bluebird. And everybody know
Mm-hmm.
the bluebird is the prison bus. Everybody know that. And I
Same
mean,
lunch
look,
tray,
same lunch trays, food and all, y'all. They getting the
same
same
file in
slop.
order, line up, file in order.
Single file lines. If
Mm-hmm.
that ain't if that ain't too militant, I mean it's right there in everybody's face if we just take the time to look
Oh,
at
they get
these
time in
things.
the yard.
It's all there. Yep, the little
They get
time on the
time.
yard, we'll give y'all an hour, give y'all hour out a day, time on the yard. I mean, it's all there, fam. It's all there. It's just that, a lot of us been so programmed to believe in these people's system and been indoctrinated so deep they really don't see it. They think it's okay every day when you drop your child off to a prison. You think it's okay to see them off to get on the prison bus. Because that's what you're doing. If you're still participating in that system, and I ain't trying to make it seem fun enough because I'm for real. I'm trying to be humorous about it, but really,
Right.
it's not a game, y'all. We have to be more
Mm-hmm.
cautious because everything's
Yeah.
set up on the same format. And something happened, guess what? They already got the police, military, all them presidents. They're going to juvenile right there. So basically, it's already starting in our face.
Mm-hmm.
So the people
From the
can't say that
principal office.
they dead in the blind.
Yeah. And they go from the principal office to the warden's office. Same thing.
Same setup. Same setup.
Yeah.
Peace,
Speaking of,
Cody.
yeah, what's up, Cody? Hey, Cody. And then speaking of DVDs, then we looking at the other creative stifle tool on the wall, the TV. This is
Mm-hmm.
somebody else's imagination and creativeness at work. Why the child can't sit down somewhere and watch their own creativeness be placed on a wall or a piece of paper or a cardboard board, like somebody said, and then put that on the wall. Instead, they're sitting there looking at somebody else's money on that wall. Somebody's making money because the child is stifled.
Right. Because you're not allowing them to use their own creative tools inside of them. And that place,
yeah.
And that place, Disney. I took a look at him too. This guy walked. Now, hey man, if we've been checking Disney out, you know that Disney been hit quite a few times. Child trafficking, human trafficking, sex trafficking. A lot going on at Disney, y'all. And I took a look at the guy Walt Disney, right? They try to make it seem, use nice words when it's they kind. So I look him up, and they have him not as a pedophile, but as a pedagogue. And I said, what the fuck? The word should be pedophile, because he had a very serious temper problem. He had a ferocious attitude. He was very vindictive. This man had several things going on. He was racist. He had a whole lot going on with him. This guy Walt. But they try to make it seem. Can you hear me, fam? Okay, we back. But they try to make it seem as if this guy was like a guy that you can actually honor or look up to. When you dig into that, then you'll know that man, not Walt. Walt wasn't good. He wasn't good Walt wasn't good when it comes to the children. So how did he become, his place of business become so, glorified in the eyes of these people now? Now, I look at things like that. How did Ronald McDonald molest 45 children and never went to jail? So these are the type of things that this society promotes. So we got to look at what's going on and do our own investigations. Y'all. Just because they have on costumes that look kid friendly, these costumes, because apparently they had us fooled as adults. They have these people in costumes that look kid friendly or look like it's a happy, just a good person type thing or something. Nah, man, we got to check into what's going on with these places. And when I looked at Disney a little more, okay, they got Disney Plus, which actually features R-rated movies. So I don't know if, parents hip or, or what, but Disney Plus, they actually air R-rated movies. Yeah, Disney Plus, they actually air R-rated movies on there. And you look at people like Miley Cyrus and these Hannah Montana people who grew up off Disney and stuff, and look at how that turned out. So they push puberty and adulthood on them way too early with the type of things that they showing on their network on Disney. And another thing, guess what I found out about Disney?
What's that?
Disney Worlds and Disneylands all have their own jail under them.
You know I'm over typing. Excuse me, y'all. I need to look at. We're gonna look at that.
All Disney Worlds and Disneylands, y'all, have their own jails under them. So, okay, you mean to tell me y'all get caught up in trafficking more than once? They just was recently caught up again months ago. This haven't even been a whole year. They just had another trafficking bus and like sex ring trafficking bus and child trafficking bus. And this year, I think of like June 2022. Why is this place open? Why is this place still open? And this not the first time that this has happened. And then you come to find out, okay, if y'all got prisons under every one of these things, that's gonna make me believe all these children that come up missing out of y'all facilities, where are they? And y'all got jails under every one of them. And y'all a place that's known for all this activity with children that ain't proper. And y'all getting caught up with all these things. But it's a lot of things that go on in Disney that don't be being discussed and people apparently are unaware of. There's a Disney jail for misbehavior. Yes. Yes. So what's really going on at Disney? Why do y'all need holding facilities at a children's supposed to be like a children amusement park or something? I mean, every jail, whatever, every city and stuff have their own jails. It's public jails. Basically, this for they might be prioritized, but I'm saying this is like some hidden shit to me. I mean, this is blowing me out the water. Like, what the fuck? What y'all need a jail for under these things? It supposedly like children theme park, amusement park, whatever. Why do you need a jail under this thing? This is for children. And if something happened, why y'all can't call y'all local jail? Everywhere got jails. Y'all got enough security and all that. It's a lot of fishy things going on with this place, y'all. This is real fishy to me. I mean, that just stuck out. Like, I was like, what the okay, now what's really going on here? And then guess what else, fam? Why does Disney sell condoms? This a child place. Now we talk about the children's realm, things that places where a lot of parents take their children and all these type of things, right? From McDonald's to Disneyland. These are the type of things that this child's place we've talked about. People they think that this is a child's place, but hold on, this ain't no child's place either. Why are they selling condoms? Why do they have a jail? At a children's facility that's supposed to be. Now when you go to Six Flags or you go to y'all local fairs, we have all type of amusement things that people be into and surrounding you. They ain't got their own jails and all that under the ground. So man, I mean, I don't see how this place is should still really be open, man. Why is this place not shut down at this point? I don't get it. But some parents still think that, yeah, this is a child's place. So we have to start being more mindful, y'all. There's certain things we feel like you talking about this child's place, and hey man, you might need to be quiet and let the children speak up. And we together determine what a child's place is. Because some of the placements and situations, hey man, we might want to place them in actually not a child's place. If you considering, hey man, these Ronald McDonald places and all this at Disney, hold on now. Hey, it might not be a child's place, y'all.
Exactly. Yeah. As I hear you, as a collective, uh, a collective somewhere of some size, we need to decide seriously what is a child's place. Hear what we saying and be for real about it. Because yeah, a
Right.
child's place is a child being harmed,
Because
and that's not a child.
some of these things that we may have once considered a child's place, we have to reevaluate some of these things, yo, and check into what's going on and what type of activities and what type of places and yeah, what you allowing the children exposure to. Because like I said, a lot of parents they might just feel like, oh, it's Disney, allow them to watch certain things or whatever. But when they put in R-rated movies, in the movies and certain, if we pay attention to certain of their movies, they alluding to certain stuff, but so we have to actually, we need to watch this stuff ourselves. Talking about, go sit down and watch that. No, you need to go sit down and watch that, because sometimes we be
Exactly.
too heavy on the parenting and we ain't realizing what's going on and what we might be just sitting a child in front of,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So, it's just things to reevaluate because, like I said, it shocked the mess out of me. Why does Disney sell condoms? And I wish I could talk to somebody live. Like, we need to know. We need to know, y'all. Why is this a child's facility? Why do y'all sell condoms here? They sell swords. They sell daggers. Why y'all got this? Why do you sell swords at Disneyland, Disney World? Why do you sell daggers at Disneyland, Disney World? And most of all, why do you sell condoms at Disneyland, Disney World? Why is there a jail under Disneyland, Disney World? So, hey man, we was considering this a child's place. Hey, we might have to go do some serious reevaluate.
Mm-hmm. And sit down ourselves, like you said. I know I sit down with my grandchildren. I did sit down with my own children. When people come to the Karmic Dynasty platform, I tell them, even like last night, you see my granddaughter up here. That don't mean you sit your children in front of me. It's up to the caregiver to be responsible for knowing what is acceptable observations for a child. Don't leave that. That's not my responsibility. Yeah, there's a child in the room with me, but I got permission from her mama and her daddy for her to be with me in my content. I'm taking care of what I'm doing. Do this, that's not my responsibility or anyone else's. We have to be responsible. If you need help with knowing what responsibility and how to manage it, then reach out. Definitely reach out. And when we are telling children, like the person in the comments said, go sit down and watch what we put on for y'all, that is probably them people talking like that is an adult story that has been put on for the children. Just like Walt Disney and Pluto, like I had earlier on the screen, the children watching that, that's not a child that made that show. That's still some
Exactly.
adults together. They're being paid, and this is an adult story they are listening to. And so then
Like
for
the
the children to what's the word, to relate, they want to make the characters childlike or goofy, literally, for example, and or they do stuff like put the adults in baby form, like this, the presidents.
mm,
Them is grown people, but because ain't no presidential books for children. And instead of them making some individually, which is a project I'm working on, personalized books for children, they're not giving them a story. They're recycling history and putting children's faces on it. Or if somebody must have got the notion that Disney characters was a little too adult for children, so we gonna give them Disney baby products.
Mm.
Because you shrink down the character and put big cheeks on them and a smile, don't make it baby-like. Don't make it childlike.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
another form to draw them in and then get them to the bigger size characters. Like us, we came in
Because
straight on the adult Mickey Mouse, the adult Bugs Bunny, but the baby Warner Brothers characters, they taken another angle with our children. At the
yes,
end of the day, it's still not their story. Those are adult stories.
all this part of the agenda. Like, okay, what they doing now? I had noticed like when you did the broadcast on the them attacking Aretha Franklin song. See, we have to realize and go back and look at all these people agendas. This they whole thing. You know, they attack this song, Natural Woman, because okay, that's what they have a problem with. Anything that's natural. But the woman, because the woman can reproduce. So they whole movement, that LTBQJF1965, whatever that is, right? Because they keep adding stuff. You can't even keep up with who they is. But they whole thing was to press play on the transhumanism agenda. And so, yeah, they have a problem with the natural woman because they want to bring all this AI intelligence in. And we see it, y'all. They even have the machine now where a woman can take her eggs and a man can take their sperm and put in a machine and watch the baby grow, watch your baby form. But see, this is the thing that the people unaware of. You don't know how much sperm or how much eggs it take to make, you know, a being. So while they produce one being for you, you know, yeah, they might produce bodies to put they things in that they bringing in through these portals, you know, and from other places. So, I mean, that was their whole thing. That's why they attacked Aretha Franklin and the song Natural Woman. Now, Aretha Franklin ain't did nothing to nobody. Who wants to attack Aretha Franklin? So you know these people are sick. They are sick. And all of that is part of their transhumanism agenda. And see, that's what they own. Transhumanism and want to mess with these children. That is what they want to do, y'all. Y'all ought to see some of these things that's being passed in the schools that the schools are actually allowing. That's why we keep saying, get the children out of the education system because they whole agenda is to super hyper sexualize the children, have them hypersexually active, you know, at a very young age. You know, they starting to talk to these children now about sex in kindergarten. These are the type of things going on in the school system. Why we keep saying, get these children out of the education system. Their whole agenda is to constantly keep working on AI intelligence, you know, AI. And our children, they trying to have them hypersexual at a young age. If you look at a lot of these cartoons, like sis said, you can't just look at something like it looks like it's child friendly or something. No, pay attention to the characters. Pay attention to what they saying on some of these cartoons. Look at what they doing. And 90% of them, you ain't gonna want to cheer and watch it no more. 90% of it, you're not gonna want to. I mean, you see SpongeBob, they gay. The Teletubbies, so they gay. You got Mickey Mouse, all this stuff, y'all. They are, you know, trying to put ideas in the children's head at a young age. And Disney too, you know, they pushed you know, promoting early puberty and, you know, talking to them about sexual matters and Like I said, it's just way too much with Disney and how they set up even, you know. Look at the child stars that then grown up on Disney and through their world, and look at their mind state. That's so Raven. Look at them people. They not normal. That's not normal, y'all. Y'all pay attention to Raven Simone. Y'all keep up with that. That's not normal. Hannah Montana, whatever. None of these people are normal once they get to being adult. You know, they didn't mess these people up. Just like them children in the entertainment thing. Look at Will Smith and them sons and daughters. Look at them children. They toe up. Don't look at how money and all that. They is toe up. They are psychologically disturbed because they've been put through all these things as children. Now they don't even really know how to identify with themselves because they've been through too much. I mean, you can look at them and tell, y'all. Look at these people. Take a good look at anybody who grew up in the limelight on Disney and then when they become adult, they life. And this is an ongoing thing because of lack of a lot of us paying attention, y'all. Yeah, Orlando Brown. Another one, Orlando Brown. Yeah, fam. Look at their mind state once they become adults. Everybody who grew up on Disney, everybody. Those children traumatized. They toe up. They all the way, you know, they gone, y'all. And because they been abused and been through all type of situations that are not for children. Or children shouldn't have been exposed to all that. Now look at them. So we just, have to start being more mindful, y'all, of this so-called child's place we always talk about, trying to tell children where they need to be
Well, now again, with just today's topic, we're gonna continue on it. Where's the children? In history, where are the stories about the book? When the children are in school, they're reading stories about adults and what adults been doing. When they're watching TV,
right?
And reading books, those are the artistic viewpoints of adults. Where are the children writing to lead the children? So another thing that I have up here to prep for is the nursery rhymes. Who says that these rhymes and sometimes so-called rhythms is for our babies? I have a whole presentation, and I could pull it up now if I need to, but on deciphering the real meanings, some of a real meaning behind the nursery rhyme, because we'll never know the true intent of those that wrote the nursery rhymes. But I'm telling you, there's some dark stories, and y'all got y'all children singing these. Some of y'all got y'all children singing these stories. And of course, because that's how they were taught, they're teaching them to their children. Taking these children's artistic views and imaginations away from them early. Some of us sit and while the children in our womb, we sing to them. And then because they receive it early, you know that the nursery rhyme, according to what I have seen, doesn't go away. It turns for some of us into hymns in the church. Nursery rhymes for grown people, some of y'all, is called church songs. Amazing Grace is a story. I'm gonna share his image. It's his story. If they got it in here, they gonna show his face. John Newton. Here you go, right here. Is his story about when he was a slave to an African princess. This him right here. And her grace released him from the chains of slavery. That's what the people sitting up in the pew singing about at church. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. This man was a hot mess. He had slaves. He mistreated people. And then ended up being a slave himself to an African princess, and she let him go. They got a whole a play on Broadway about it. Stage play. It ain't no secret. It's just some of us who don't know it, and we sit up and go from singing "Hey Diddle Diddle," as it's been said, "Bye Bye Black Sheep," "London Bridge is Falling Down," to singing about an amazing grace. The nursery rhymes just don't ever stop. When we gonna stop singing other people's songs? Some of y'all, like I encourage my grandchildren, let me hear a song about you. What's your song? And then they start singing their name and they come up with their own songs. Humpty Dumpty is a song about alcohol. That presentation is a little bit lengthy, but I could pull it up. London Bridge is about immerment, where they enclose children inside the walls of London. Speaking of walls, they putting children in the walls. That's what London Bridge is about. I just need us to work on some things.
And people don't question these things.
Not at all. They too busy remembering it. They done memorized it. They done been indoctrinated. And they don't know any different. They don't realize that outside looking in is really a world where children don't exist. Where is the children's history? Where are their faces? Where are their faces at? That's why on this thumbnail for this presentation, I got the children's backs to us. Because this is what happens. The children turn their back on us. If the children gonna turn their back on us, they are the future, then what our future look like? These kids is looking at these walls right now on your screen, might be like, you know what? I didn't see us. We having a meeting. Let's just stop everything we've seen. Let's regroup. I remember being a child and never seeing a picture of me, somebody like me. A lot of time as adults, where we want to teach the children, well, that don't look like us. Where's the image for me? The adults, some of them is such big babies. 7-year-olds run around with a song.
You can say that again.
Where's your image? The children got the same cry, whether they realize it or not. And they put it in different forms of expression again, which look like tantrums, behavior issues. Where do the children in history see images of themselves? Where is their identity? History, people, is fake. There is no picture of our children and nowhere. Again, there's some people who came here since the beginning. Again, I might be having a senior moment. If there are some historical or ancient cultural writings and they include children, let me know. I'll share it. I don't have no problem being wrong.
And a lot of this been purposely done, because actually this is the generation that they wanted not to be able to catch on to certain things because of the advancements in technology and, you know, all of that type of wave. They actually wanted to lose like these children. You know, if we're not the bridge to keep them connected to reality, these children have basically grew up in cyber world. You know, they grow up behind the phone. They don't want to interact as much or be out if we're not actually telling them to, some of them. That's how attached they are. So if we don't keep these things alive, things like how to cultivate, things that you need to know in the home, because I mean, they growing up digitally. Everything is behind a screen, a lot of the things that they learning. And a lot of things it's up to us, y'all. We have to bridge this and keep these things alive, y'all. And it's our responsibility. Cause we see the play. We see what's going on. So if we don't bridge these gaps and keep some of these things together, then guess what? They almost totally, trying to wipe out a lot of information from our children. That's why they banning books right now. So if you was on writing a book, sis, yeah, that's good, because we gonna need more writers. We need more historians. We need more librarians, record keepers. Yeah, because of that. They tried to wipe out and whitewash a lot of things about our history. They didn't want us to know that, hey man, we were supreme in science. We were supreme in chemistry. We were supreme in all these arts. We created all these things. And so now they're trying to ban a lot of books and a lot of information. So if we not there actually, yeah, keeping things alive and bridging the gaps in places with these things, yeah, they trying to whitewash all of our history. They didn't want, hey man, the people to know that we was already into crystals and we was using other type of technology. They want us to have an image that we was bones in our nose and bow arrows, and they didn't want us to know that we already had technology. We was using crystal technology. We was using a lot of forms of natural technology that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to talk about their part. But we was always advanced when it came to things, and basically created everything on the planet. But they don't want you to know that. Like they took these phones and downgraded them and gave them back to us. We already had all this technology. Thomas Edison lied about the light bulb. They got light bulbs in the hieroglyphs in the caves. We been knew about electricity. None of these things are new. They try to say this man discovered electricity flying a kite. Get out of here, man. Stop that. You know what I'm saying? We got light bulbs in the hieroglyphs. So they try to give us all these downgraded representations of us, or try to teach us that we was some type of slave type thing, and redid the whole story, the original Egypt and all that was over here. They wanted you to think it's in Africa. They took everything and scatter things out and put out a indoctrination out here, so the people will be in a confused state. So yeah, if we don't keep this information alive and share with these children, then yeah, they're trying to lose them in the AI world. That's the whole thing. They want everything around them to be fake. They don't want them to know how to do nothing. They don't want them to know how to build things, how to grow things, you know. Yeah, they just stole everything, fam. That's what they did. That's all they did. Stole everything. But like people with stuff with like y'all see, it got like over what, it's like almost 400,000 Teslas just got recalled. And I told the people, man, that man making them electric cars and all that, you doing it, man. We got another frequency. I've been telling the people, hey man, the whole planet is changing. The whole planet is upgrading. We getting different energies on this planet. Electromagnetism is not gonna work for long. So yeah, man, Elon, Tesla, y'all in trouble right now. And the energy is rising on the planet, y'all. And hey, we're gonna look forward to a lot of more changes. A lot of more things that's gonna be happening in our favor. Got a lot of cosmic ancestral energies hitting the planet. And right now, we're going through a solar flare. Right now, as we speak, solar flare came in today. It's an M class. So, man, these energies constantly getting stronger. You know, that's why we running, you know, hey, and waking each other up and reminding each other, you know, yeah, man, to stay where we need to stay focused, you know. So we have an eye to see these things, you know, and keep reaching out to our children. You know, a lot of these things that's going on and the mindset of the youth and all the things they have to go through, a lot of it is not their fault, y'all. You have to realize how hard it is trying to be a child right now. It's hard to be a child. Folks complain about being an adult. It's hard to be a child. Outside of what bills and all that, no, it's hard to be a child. Everywhere you go, you shut down. You can't express yourself. Everybody tell you to be quiet because they feel like you an adult, you know, and that's the child. Child gotta stay in child's place. Or else you just need to be quiet. Or go there and sit down. Go watch TV. Man, it's 10 times hard being a child right now. So to the parents who be trying to act like, you know, because the children, they not, you know, old enough to be responsible for bills and all of that right there. No, you better think about what these children have to go through. It's hard to be a child. It's hard to be a child right now without flashing out. I feel for the children. Everywhere you go, somebody telling you to be quiet. When do you ever get a chance to express yourself? The children probably just need to go somewhere and scream. Just go somewhere, just let it out. Just go you know, like for real. Because when do they get to express themselves? Half of the parents don't let them do it. You know, when they go to school, they can't really express themselves. So yeah, we might need to get them some writing pads and, like you said, some chalkboards and allow them to say some things to us. Half of us don't want to hear it. Well, maybe we need to allow them to draw it or something, because we need to get the memo. Yeah, we got to get the memo, man. Stay in touch with what's going on.
And they do go through a lot. They don't express themselves. They need to. And then they watch the adults express themselves. They watch the adults fight. They watch the adults scream. They watch the adults be creative. But at the same time, I bet a lot of them don't even want to be us. They don't want to be grown. Really? We look messy. We are setting a bad example. Right. So the children fighting the whole way up through into adulthood, to adulthood and through it. A lot of us grown people, we have issues that we have because we are mad and inside fighting because we didn't want to grow up. We didn't want to be a grown person because grown people got issues.
And half of that we wasn't allowed to express ourselves either. All this stuff still coming out. Suppression. We would suppress. As a child, everything that you feel, right, 90% of your feelings get suppressed as a child.
Yes.
So it take us to be adults to actually open up and start letting certain things out, because you just can't take it no more. You've been told to hold this in, be quiet, don't talk about that, you can't do this all the time. So like I said, some of us still experiencing this. Things we done held in our heart for too long that we should have said something about 20 years ago.
And the children have what to look forward to. What adult is the model really? When you dig inside the grown people business, not what they portray on these screens and they present to the public, really looking into adults' lives. What child really wants to be one of us? They have nothing to look forward to. Suppressed and oppressed. And the parenting, right, and the parenting makes them feel like they don't have a place. Well, damn, in they mind, like, when do I get a chance to do something or say something? If everywhere you go, you being shut down. You being told to minimize yourself. Yes.
And you know, it takes spirit to move this flesh. So you minimizing a spiritual man or they little spiritual woman, they
Mm-hmm.
spiritual self. You minimizing it and you not allowing it to grow. Yeah, we got these bodies and we use logic and all of that stuff too, but it takes spirit to make these things move.
Yeah.
It takes spiritual force to make these things happen. And you know, it's like we deteriorating they little spirits, man, when we do them like that.
And they be
We
needing
ain't
a
letting
break.
them breathe. Children
Children
need to
got addiction.
breathe. We not
They got
allowing them
addiction.
to breathe, but we want to do all the things in their face and then tell them what they can't do. No, man. All that is what they can't do with this child's place thing. With a lot of us, we got that thing bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, it makes them feel like unwanted. It makes them feel like they have no place. Where's my safe place that I can express myself at then? And then when they turn to, you know, doing other things or want to be around other company or all this, we got the nerve to be mad. Or they start getting into things. We got the nerve to try to act like we mad about something.
Bothered.
Why? Ain't no sense. I mean, you know, but that's how most parents are. Then the child get into mischief, get into things or whatever. Then we want to act like we the one mad. And the child probably like, fuck, I was trying to talk to you all this time. I've been trying to tell you this. I've been trying to let you know. But you get it shut down. So, I mean, certain things we just probably need to reevaluate at times, y'all. Because, hey, we held in enough as children growing up. And some of us just not starting to release from all this, you know, yeah, as a child. From us going through these things, us having this same experience.
Yeah, and as I was saying, that all
So
these issues.
I'm glad this was a topic today, sis.
Yeah, I am too. And
I'm
like I
glad
said,
this was a topic today because I feel like
it must be a delay. Go ahead.
yeah, this was a good one. Now I was saying
Yeah,
I'm glad that was the topic today because yeah, I think that need to be touched on. That need to be
it
touched on,
does.
y'all.
It does. And then the children, we speaking of the adult like symptoms. So adults have things they get to that they are being interrupted from and getting upset at the children. Sometimes people get mad because they can't finish their drink. Sometimes adults get mad because the children interrupting them smoking. So what they do is they get their children hooked on stuff. The children need a supplier.
Mm-hmm.
Children need a pusher. Let me get you something to do. So here go their supplier right here. Here go one of the children's suppliers right here. Let's get the children under our spell. Let's give them our dream because the adult is not letting them share their dream. We're going to give them a dream. And then when they get grown, they still are under the spell of dreams that are not their own. And then when life shows up, then they get into trouble. And who's to blame?
That's true, Cody. Yes.
And then they be in trouble and in jail or other type troubles. Just like grown people who have addictions and they face their troubles because they were once a child who was stifled. Their voice didn't matter. They had no face. History and all the storytelling and books in school, nothing shows their picture or their dreams or their art, creativity, imagination, self-expression. Leave these babies alone. Yes, I have written a book, Homeschool. We're talking about school today. I'm about to have a small commercial break. Check me out. Unschool Guide. Get you a copy.
All right
Yes.
then.
You can get your copy today from me or one of the other 3 Scribe distributors, Cherie Reed L, and we are on her platforms today as well, sharing. You can contact one of us to get the guide on how to homeschool. There is an all states section. This is the no excuse zone on these platforms we're sharing on today. This is a no excuse zone. Get your copy from me. Get your copy from Cherie Reed L. We have
Get
the
them
ebook.
children out of their education system.
That's right. We got an ebook copy and we got paperbacks. We are going on a book signing tour. So we will be able to get books to you direct, and you can Q&A us at the book signing lecture tour. Dates and times are soon to be announced. Also, you can get the book autographed, and you can also, there's a consultation and peer-to-peer section of references in the rear of the Unschool Guide, and it gives you contact with any one of us 3 scribes. And we will get you into a network. If you're unsure how to, there we have many references available to you. Also, let me go over here to the comment section, not to neglect anybody over here. Okay. Also, yes, I am working with another person, familiar, recognizable on the platform, and we are working on making personalized books for each child, personalized options for their story, to help them write their story. But sometimes we first have to work with them, and we show them their story, and then they guide themselves from there. Each child is different, so each one learns differently. But yes, the children read. If it is a child's book and some children in it, again, that's an adult expression. We are working with these children one-on-one and putting the story they tell in a book form for them. They can draw their own pictures. They can have someone help them draw pictures. It's their book. It's up to them. And I guess maybe that might be a reason why this whole children have no story popped in my head today, first thing, because I've been working on these personalized books. I've also been recently in my presentations sharing pictures like this. Like, I'm looking at all these images, but where are the children?
And it's a need for that. It's a need for that. Somebody got to come change the momentum. Somebody got to change the momentum.
These pictures. Where are they at in these historical walls documenting history? Where are the babies at? Did they not exist in them times? If so, when did people start having babies? Actually, maybe we ain't had them yet, and we ain't gonna have them because they got things like pods to have them for you. When do the children really matter? When you need them to go get your house shoes for you? When you need them to go get the remote control? When you need them to get out your way? When you need them because it's tax time and you need that deduction to get that big refund? When the children really matter? Where I'm from, they matter all the time. All the time.
We have to allow them space and stop with this child's place thing, because their opinions matter, what they feel matter, what they going through matter, and stop being so quick to shut them down when they just want to vent, when they just want to, hey man, communicate with you, especially if you the parent. I done seen some kind of horrible parenting out of some of us. We just don't have time. And you just don't want to be bothered. You just always shooing the child out. Just, no, don't make children feel unwanted. They already go through enough as children. So that's the last thing, we ought to be doing is shooing the child off. We don't know what happened with their day at school, what they've been going through on the inside, things like this, y'all. We have to consider these things because, at junior high, elementary, guess what? We went through things, and a lot of times we didn't come home and tell our parents about it because we knew how they would react. We knew how they would react. So, we trying to break that. We breaking that up, y'all. We got to change our mindset And hey, man, just know I ain't no such thing as no child's place. You know, that means you probably need to get right. That's what that is. You need to get right and get what you doing together. You know, yeah. And out of the midst of the child, get your stuff together. They're talking about all this child's place thing and shutting the children down and shutting them off and shooing them off. When we need to be trying to vibe and see what's going on.
That's right. That showing them off phrase you just used. A lot of us poke our chests out and we get proud, want to pop a collar, showing off their children, put them in as models, living vicariously through them, sharing their report cards or lying about it. My baby got straight A's. Showing them off. But what do you, because you have nothing to show for yourself? Just a question mark right there.
Right.
Look how cute I dressed her today. Look at her bow in her hair. And then wonder why, you know what, people, when y'all do that, you're not helping the fight against pedophilia. You're not helping the fight against child molestation. You're not helping the fight against child abduction. Y'all
Right.
some little knuckleheads. The names y'all calling these kids is y'all's names.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Knucklehead, that's rough. But I mean, I've even heard in the South, especially in the South, I done heard them go so far as to call them B and all of that. We have to look into what we doing with these children because it's your child don't mean that you are allowed to abuse these children verbally because these things stain these children. They have to live with it. They have to live with it. But I done heard people actually call they children, B and H and all of that. We have to be mindful, y'all, and start allowing children a space. Since they talk about this child's place thing, that's 9 times out of 10 when grown folks doing something they shouldn't be doing in the presence of a child anyway. That's why they want to talk about some child's place. Nah, you need to get yourself together, bruh. To get yourself together, sis. It's a child around. Respect yourself. Then the child gonna respect you. That's how they go. Instead of doing all type of things around them and then tell them, go get somewhere in a child place. No, monitor your own behavior. That is the child's place. 9 times out of 10, it's your home. It's their home too, then, ain't it? What you mean a child's place? Where is a child's place? We got to stop this stuff, y'all. We got to stop this. It ain't gonna stop until we stop it. That's why I said it's hard to be a child with some of this parenting. They can't get a break nowhere because that's what they get at home. Then when they get to school, you be quiet again. Obey what we do. Do what we say or else. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I can imagine a lot of children hurt on the inside because they feel unwanted, they don't belong. They feel like they don't have a place. So yeah, man, we just have to be more mindful, y'all. These children, man, we think we going through something. These children trying to grow up amongst all this. We didn't have to experience all these things growing up, y'all. Hypersexualized environment. Because people don't care what they do no more. Go walk around groping each other, men and women groping, grabbing on each other. You might see 2 men hugged up, 2 women just, it's no respect. Look at all the things children have to see on the TV screen and even have to see in person. It's hard being a child growing up. You suppress everything. You can't say nothing. You can't do nothing. But all these emotions, all these things you feeling inside of you, but you nothing you could do. You don't got no outlet. You shut down everywhere you go. That's why I keep saying, right now to be a child, oh man. I know they probably want to test some stuff up on the inside. Or they feel like black sheep already as children. Because that's how it's gonna make them feel, y'all. Outcasted. And like Cody said, man, might, you know, end up turning to these little street organizations and, you know, little gangs and little stuff like this because really they looking for the love they not getting. They looking to be accepted. Somebody'll just hear me out. Well, somebody to listen, at least. You know, we got to look at that because, yeah, that's how children feel, whether they saying it or not. We've been children before, and that's all we wanted. That's all we want them to do, pay us a little attention for a few minutes, and then we going on about our business. But that's all we wanted too. Same thing. We wanted that, but we remember that, you know, some of our parents was into some things. I got shooed away plenty of times. Go on somewhere. Go play the game. That's all we wanted. That's your mom and dad. You love them. Hey, I want to sit down and get a laugh in with y'all or something for a few minutes. That's all you wanted. So yeah, man, we just have to be mindful to reevaluate our parenting and things, decisions going on, and hear the child more, hear the child out more instead of trying to make the decision for them, make the decision with them.
Another point I want to make before we leave is division. I've seen the word division in the comments section. And sometimes this division we have, I'm sharing this overlay one more time. The division affects our children. All these cultures, these children will be adults in this future world, same way we interacted with many different cultures. It's important. And I don't have, no, the color is not my concern. At times it's necessary, but it's not like an all over agenda for me. To keep and divide the children from other cultures is neglect. It's a form of neglect because then they won't know how to relate to those other cultures in a productive manner to be a positive change for future generations. The children in that case, some of them don't know where they are from. Some people, some children do not know where they are going. They don't know what to do. And they, like, for example, going through the school system, until graduation, they've really technically been told what to do. And some of them think that when they leave school, that the world is the same as up until that point. If they had polite teachers, everybody out here ain't gonna be polite. You have a polite house, everybody out here ain't gonna be polite. So they don't know where they're going. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what to become. And they are living in a world of old people's tales. Everybody, I'm pretty enough of us know that old lady or that old man that always got a story. The children are living not living their own stories. The children are living adults' tales, old people's tales. Give the children the space and the freedom to have and live their own tales.
Yes.
You won't feed them, let them do that, but you'll feed them some McDonald's. Watch what you feed these babies. And so, and it's because I'm talking, you know what I mean? But I'm about that life. And I'm about them receipts. I can show y'all some receipts. I got a granddaughter. I got grandchildren. 16 of them. And my oldest one, some of y'all know her as Empress Moon Fox. Some of y'all call her guacamole. I started my social media presence, and I'm like, oh, I need to share. Maybe somebody's child want to learn what she know, or she can show, or it's actually just an expression of herself. I brought Empress Lulu on to my platform to give her a place for self-expression.
Right.
And now through her self-expression and the space I've given her, actually the space was given to her by her mom and her dad. I just was allowed to provide her the space outside of her home to do it. And so now she has a online store, a shop that she'll be opening up. It is planned to launch mid-March. And because she's not a selfish, and we are not selfish people, her store is not just hers. It's not just her products that's going to be on this store. She is having a merchant area where other merchants, other sellers, other creators can share their items too. Because you know what? Everyone does not know how to start an online store. Everyone doesn't have a mama or a daddy or a mama to help them get started. Everybody don't have the funds, the resources, the means to get it done. So she's sharing her space with other people. This is what she's doing. And she has her father who does her the info you need to know about her clips. And I'm going to share that right now and a little bit more about her store with you in this message from her father.
At the Moonfox shop, you will spot new products launching as Moonfox creates them, as well as new products from her friendly merchant club. Join the Moonfox merchant club today and have your products listed in Moonfox shop. Everyone comes here to shop for their phases in their life. Which Frosty product will you add to your cart? Moonfox Tooth Care or her Perfect Vanilla Extract? Or stock up on her other products? Browse and shop. Also join the Moonfox email club for promos, events, and more. And always have a Moonfox kind of day. Thank you. Bye.
All righty, y'all. Y'all shop with Empress Moon Fox at Gmail.
And she got, like I said, it's a lot of them. I got the Maya's girls. My other two, I got to get them like ready. So, you know, camera ready and all them other things. So it take a little time to groom them, to get them ready for the camera and social media and to share their expressions with everyone. But yeah, Maya's girls, they have the adventures. So they go out in the city and share their real live reactions with everybody. Empress Lulu, she also has her daily exercising and nutrition regimen. We're getting her a show together. So I'm pretty sure that supports that.
Okay. Let's get it, Moon Fox.
Sharing with the children, you know, I think it's like Sunday she does push-ups, Monday she does sit-ups, and she has a rest day. And she also has a nutrition day. So yes, we're working over here with the babies. And again, I'm not up here just talking and preaching. I'm about that life seriously. And someone in here in the comments said, be a model. I'm a model. I can't be in that role to be a role model.
And that's good because that's going to encourage, you know, other children and stuff her age to, you know, be more open to express themselves more and, you know, come out more with their ideas, you know, speak on it and build on it more. So yeah, that's what's up.
Yes, and I'm gonna share how I got the notion and with her gifts put it together. I was listening to a brother's presentation a few years ago, maybe about 3-4 years ago, and he shared a sister story and how she has children's books, language books where the children learn different languages. She had her products listed on Amazon. She was getting attacked because there was only melanated children in her books. And she was keeping her product listed on Amazon. They was attacking her. And my talking self, I was like, that's why we need our own. We quick to say we need our own. And then we just drop the ball right there and keep walking. I put it into action. Right. We need our own, because your product won't get dropped on the Moonfox shop because your target audience is melanated people, or your content only includes, like in a book, melanated children. I had to get a place for us if they gonna act like that. So that's our mission, and that's our goals and our objective, and we're gonna keep it moving. Over here, y'all need some tips or something, contact me. I don't have no problem sharing what we're doing. You want to be a merchant on the Moonfox shop, you don't have your own means and resources right now to get it done. We're here to share and assist everyone best we can, if we can.
I'm over here just cheesing.
I see you, so I'm fill up the space for you, because you have.
I'm proud of you. What you doing with Moonfox over there? That's gonna open up some doors. That's good.
Yes, and also I've been on my tours promoting literacy awareness. Some children, they say they can't read, is actually a lack of confidence and a whole bunch of suppression. Children read. They read people, they read situations, they read themselves.
They read energy.
Energy, you know what I mean? These children know how to read. But some children actually, like M-Town said, they banning books. I collect books, and every year on my tour, take them to the Sankofa bookstore in Washington, D.C., which is said to have the lowest literacy rate amongst our people, our children. So I'm a person of action. You tell me something, I'm gonna come up with a plan. We're gonna get it done.
That's right. We're gonna get the business clear.
Done. So what's you gleaming and you got thoughts? I see them, M-Town Vet. What's your thoughts? What you sharing?
I'm just happy because that's a good thing that you're doing with Moonfox. And like I said, I feel like this gonna encourage a lot of more of the youth to express themselves, because that's the whole thing. They getting shut down everywhere they go. And so, man, maybe that'll encourage more of the youth to build on whatever it is that they have inside, some of their thoughts, things they might want to create, some of their ideas that when they may be trying to discuss with parents or others that they getting shut down, and maybe, hey man, you know what? I can start me a YouTube too then, and and so that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Oh, share more of the drum drive info. Oh, is this brother Eternal El Bay? Talk to me about that drum drive. I need to promote and work with that. Teamwork make the dreams work.
Right. Ashe.
Anything else we want to talk about? We've been here almost 2 hours. We want to wrap up or what? You done got speechless. M-Town Vet, I've not seen you speechless before. Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't want to interrupt you while you talking. And then I think we pretty much covered in just, trying to give the people some ideas. Give the people some ideas. Hello? What happened? Oh, what happened?
The screen is paused, but we hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I'm
hear
just
you.
glad, you know, we got it. We had a chance to come on
Yes.
and get everything going and what it needed to be. I can't see my face. I don't know what I done did to this phone.
We
Oh,
see
where am
you.
I?
Yeah, your picture's froze, but we see you.
How do I get back to the screen?
Can you arrow back? Close out your windows except the window with the stream in it.
Oh, what in the world is going on here?
Or you could always are you closing out windows? Refresh your screen. Gratitude, Emperor. Refresh your screen. You still here? You know what? Hold on. You're gonna leave out and come back in. He'll come back in. All right. So he's working on refreshing and coming back in. As he mentioned, though, we just about expressed what we need to express on the fact of my topic and thought today on the ancient walls, the writings, the landmarks. Where are the children's story? Where are they featured at? Where do we see images of children in all of these landmarks? Where are they at? I don't see children on these walls. I just don't. Okay. So in Virginia, March 8th, starting now, third time around drum. Okay. Okay. So the drum drive in Virginia, M-Town Vet is here with us again, coming in studio. And unmute your mic. There you go.
Okay, what I missed, fam? My phone's
You
my phone's slow today.
didn't miss anything. I was recapping the topic and
Okay.
also speaking on the information for the drum drive. So you want to go ahead and close us out after sharing what you'd like to share before we leave, and then close us out. Peace to everyone. Leave y'all with Brother M-Town Vet right now. I'm glad you all are here. I appreciate, let me right quick. I appreciate everyone who commented today. Very interactive video. I'm loving it. I appreciate everyone who has shared the video, liked the video, and
Well,
subscribed to these
I'm
platforms.
I'm glad that hey, you got a chance. Yeah, y'all, this is about the children, man. Subscribe, like, and share, y'all. Subscribe, like, and share this one, man. If y'all don't like it, none of the rest of y'all, like, subscribe, and share this one. This for the children, y'all. Yeah, we got to get it out here that some of us, we need to reevaluate these things, that's going on as far as parenting and always hushing the children up because they have feelings too. They have things that they need to express. And like sis said, hey man, we need the writings on the wall this time. Yeah, our children making history with us. And they should be included. They should be included, y'all. We shouldn't just shush them up. And yeah, their voices need to be heard. They feeling a lot of things, and we need to be able to allow them to express it to us. You know, yeah, it's been a good bill. It's always a pleasure when I come on Comic Dynasty, and thank you for having me, fam. Honor, land.